thinking about how screwed up I think 2026 is turning out to be. Um, my best pal in the whole wide world, Scooby Doo, passed away this week. That really hurt me right here. And plus, being in this stupid war that Trump caused because of his big fat ego and wanting to get out of the Epstein files debacle, which he ain't going to do. It just makes me all irritated and shit, you know? And then I spend like all morning, hours doing a live stream, playing my music and speeches about co-determination and nonpartisanship and everything, music, just chilling. There's one view the whole time. I mean, that irritates the crap out of me because I can put some stuff on about how cute my doggy is. Here, I'll show you how cute. I got Velma. Velma's still here. Come here, Velma. Show everybody how cute you are. See there, isn't she just the cutest little booger you ever did see? She's a very nice dog. But yeah, I could make some video, some mindless video about how cute my little dog is or whatever, doing some silly crap, and it'll get 1,000 views. And I do something about, well, hey, the Speaker of the House is a partisan hack, and we should have a nonpartisan speaker. It don't get nothing. Or co-determination, right? 50% worker representation in corporate boards. You don't get no views. Sometimes I think there's a damn conspiracy. Like this video right here, it ain't getting no views. I don't know why. Unless it's I'm just no good, my ideas suck. Corporate America would rather kill somebody than to let any representation of labor into the boardroom. So it's better to just crush the idea the minute it starts. There's a lady, I think it's like Penrose Permaculture. And she had a live stream yesterday, and people could put comments, and she'd answer them. And I mentioned like a nonpartisan Speaker of the House and nonpartisan committee chairs. And she saw that. And she's like, yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow or something. So I'm going to have to look that up because I want everybody to talk about nonpartisan speakers of the House and stuff like that, because all we really get is a lot of people pointing out what all these problems are. Well, like Trump and his warmongering and, the ruining of our nation's credibility. And that really bugs me. One thing besides death and destruction and all that about war that bothers me about us going and hitting Iran like we did or are doing right now is that we were in the middle of negotiations, right? And then all of a sudden, blam, here goes the bombs. I mean, but without any warning at all. So how's that going to play in the future whenever we're having negotiations with some other country, right? They're going to say, "Oh, hey, don't don't believe what the United States says, because I mean they might be talking to us at the table and ready to bomb us any second." I could get everything I want by like forcing people. I really could. All my life I could have done that, but I don't want to do that. I don't know. I guess I did a little bit of it when I was a young man. But I'd rather get people to change their mind and to do things through logic and reason, not like intimidation and force. Now we got cluster bombs falling on Israel, people over there getting hurt. All those other countries around the Middle East getting bombed. What are we spending $1 billion freaking dollars a day to do it? Oh no. Don't vote for that other guy over there, because if you vote for Kamala Harris, you're going to go to war in Iran. That's what they said. And now look, here we are in a goddamn war with Iran. So You know, so I make all these videos and try to use logic and reason and make it a little entertaining. You know, like put some music in there. But damn, it don't get no traction, and that just makes me want to say screw it all and not even try anymore. But that's just not me either. You know, I would say that well, screw it all, I ain't trying anymore. I could say that today, and what would happen tomorrow morning? I would be up doing the same daggone thing, studying, researching, looking at the news, doing the logic exercises, doing the reason and all that. Thank you for the thumbs up there. Well, I better look at the comments and say, you look like you're old enough that you shouldn't even try to force a fart. Well, I know I've been through the ropes. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm retired. I'm a neck cancer survivor. I survived hepatitis C. I'm a veteran of the Navy. There, I learned how to work on airplanes and worked on aircraft all my life after that for 45 years, or about 40 years. I don't want to exaggerate too much. But I worked for Lockheed and I worked for Boeing and for General Dynamics and for this company, you know, Grumman. I worked for bunches of them, did all kinds of contract work, working on commercial, military, you know, the C5, the C-17, A6 Intruder, F4 Phantoms. I mean, I worked on a lot of different military projects and shit. So that gave me a little bit of knowledge on how to like look up all kinds of government regulations and the Code of Federal Regulations, CFRs, and all that. Because working on airplanes and in commercial, you got to know the Code of Federal Regulations as concerning aviation. And when working on DoD projects, you got to know the rules about that and how to look it up and what books to go to and blah, blah, blah. It'd drive you freaking nuts. I was really glad when computers came out because when I first started, we had these tape systems, right? Look on these repair manuals and stuff. Man, they were on tapes. So you'd get these tapes, plug them in. Half the time they'd be broke, or you couldn't print anything out because the damn thing ran out of toner and all this. Then come computers, and you could find the stuff a whole lot easier. That made my job a lot easier. But that being said, I was also a delegate in the Democratic Party back in 2016. And it was weird the way I became a delegate, too. I didn't really like the way I became a delegate because I had like been making videos like I'm doing now. You know, I make videos, made them back then. And I had started going to political rallies to make videos. I thought it might, no, hey, you know, I'll go to political rallies. That might be a good place to make videos. So I went to like an SCC meeting 2 years before the 2016 elections, and Udall was there, and he said, "Well, everybody we're going to be pushing Hillary Clinton to be president," and everybody would start cheering and all that. And that was 2 years before the elections, so I thought it was kind of they were deciding it way ahead of time, you know. I like Bernie Sanders myself. But whenever I became a delegate, I went to a ward meeting because I found out about this ward meeting. I go to it, and they were going to elect delegates for my ward. There was 3 people there, including myself. They needed 3 delegates. Those 2 people voted for themselves or nominated themselves and voted for themselves, and I nominated and voted for myself. Thus, I became a delegate in the Democratic Party. Now, how democratic is that? That ain't democratic at all, in my opinion. You know, I don't know why that isn't common knowledge about the ward meetings. I mean, that room should have been packed, okay? There's been a whole lot more people there voting, putting themselves up as a candidate to be a delegate, everything. But no, 3 people there because they don't put the word out, y'all. They go to great lengths to make phone banks and everything to get out the vote, get out the vote. What does that say down there? Excuse me. Trump. What? You seem like Trump. I don't even have my glasses on, so it's hard for me to read. But anyway, that's what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the delegate process. So I didn't think that was very democratic at all. There should have been a ton of people there voting for these delegates, not just 1 or 2 people voting for themselves. But they don't tell anybody about the ward meetings. If you are presence of mind enough to go and look on a website, right, on the Democratic Party website, you'll find out about it there. If you look in the want ads of the local newspaper, you might find it there. But how many people do that? How many people go looking at the want ads in newspapers in the personal section? Not many nowadays. People are on the internet and do it all like that. And hardly nobody goes to the Democratic Party website. Not like what I would like a whole lots of people to go to the Democratic Party website, and all of them really, check them out. But they don't do that. So you get a bunch of party insiders going to unannounced ward meetings, voting for themselves, the same people voting for themselves, putting themselves in the state central committee, voting for who's going to be the candidates and all that, with hardly any real public input other than go vote, go register, and go vote. Oh, and normally they tell you vote straight party ticket, right? That's not the way it should be at all. Everybody should know about the ward meetings, go there and vote for delegates, try to be a delegate, you know, read the party rules, all that. So, that's the opinion I came up with after being a delegate. And then, we'll get back to the nonpartisanship in Congress. That's what I want. That's what I see as the solution. Partisanship is what George Washington warned us about, and I've seen so much of that when I was a delegate. I was actually a delegate twice, but I've seen so much partisanship, it'd make you want to just vomit. Whenever you talk to another person, you want to have a conversation that's reasonable, with using logic and reason and all that. So I was talking to a congressperson about having a nonpartisan Speaker of the House and committee chairs, what the advantages of it would be. And this guy, without a word, he literally spun around on his heel, walked off huffing and puffing as if I was like crazy. And that dog better shut its mouth because I get sick and tired. I don't call it a dog catcher again. I swear. I can't do nothing outside without that goddamn dog starting to bark. I'm starting to get irritated here. Can you tell? But yeah, so he's spun around on his hill. Well, not even considering it. Why? Oh, because that would take power away from some party. I got to go back inside because of that stupid dog. Oh, man. See there, you can't even enjoy a nice day without that dog barking. Hey, Velma, where are you? Come here, Velma. Lost track of Velma. Velma! Come! Where did that animal go? Velma, come. Come! You better get your fanny perpendicular over here. She went down the street. All right, get in the house, you animal. Oh, crazy town. All right, I'm back in the house and away from the barking dogs. so, so it's a big problem. Okay. Thank you for the thumbs up, you guys. Trump, I can just read a little better in here. Trump's skin is like a copy machine. Always. Yeah, but all that partisanship, it's a huge problem, y'all. And look what's happening. You can't get nothing done because you got a partisan Speaker of the House. It don't matter which party. Democrats, Republicans, they get the majority, and then they pick out somebody from their own ranks to vote for to be the Speaker of the House. It's like having baseball teams voting for their own umpire every inning. It don't make no sense. That's why we have to have nonpartisan Speaker of the House and committee chairs too. And that's going to be the hardest thing in the world to get. Because the Democratic Party, they should do that the minute they get in office or take the majority next November. They should, but they won't. Why? Because they would have to give up some power. You know, they would have to do something that's selfless and that would benefit everybody. It would weaken party power, so they don't want to do it. George Washington, he warned us about all this stuff. You go read the farewell address. Lots of founders warned us about this mess that we're in. And it's all caused by partisanship. Trump, his shenanigans and his mess, that's all caused by partisanship. You know where it really started going to hell? Is when Obama got elected. And I'm not blaming it on Obama either. No, far from it, The Tea Party caucus, they started getting popular about that time, right? And whenever Obama got elected, they were all up in arms because they did not want a black man to be in office, period. So before Obama ever even got sworn in, they said that they weren't ever going to, wait there. But even before Obama even got sworn in, they said they wasn't going to cooperate with anything and be against everything that he'd done. And they kept the promise too. The whole time he was in there, the Republicans fought tooth and nail against every last thing. Case in point was the time whenever they shut down the government over the ACA. They were trying to defund the ACA, so they tacked that on to a spending bill at the encouragement of Mark Meadows. And because of that, that was a poison pill. No Democrat was going to vote for that, so they shut the government down. And then eventually they opened it back up. But they went hyper-partisan after Obama got elected because he was black. They didn't want a black man in there. The Republicans, and don't forget that the Tea Party caucus was funded by the Koch brothers. So, I mean, they are just corporate America big time. They think they're gods, or one of them at least. The other one of them's dead. They wanted to run for vice president once, back whenever the Libertarian Party was running. What was his name? I can't remember his name right now, but yeah, old David Koch, I think it was. He was going to be vice president, or was trying to be, and he was running on a platform of get rid of the minimum wage, get rid of Social Security, get rid of every last thing since the New Deal. You know, basically, we're all slaves, and anybody with money, they're okay. You know, and if you ain't got a nothing, you're nothing. But they funded all that, all right, and that led us all up to exactly where we got to in 2016, with all that hyper-partisanship and all the fighting and the division, and then the raising up of the Duck Dynasty Honey Boo Boo sect that never voted before in all their born days until Trump started running. Then they got out there and voted. Now they're getting all disillusioned because Trump said, "Oh, we ain't going in no wars. Are we going to make the price of stuff go down?" Bull crap. Look at it. We're in a war, and now the price of gasoline, which he was bragging about, oh, well, at least the price of gasoline's down. Now that's going through the damn roof, too. What's that? Feels illegal. Yep. Excuse me. I was smoking this here, and my throat's still a little raspy. But yeah, how does all of our groceries and clothes and everything get delivered to stores? On trucks that depend on fuel. That's going up every. That's over $100 for a barrel of oil already. And Iran, they've already like bombed a couple of ships in the Persian Gulf and the Straits of Hormuz already. Nobody's going to want to bring any goods through there. Nobody's going to want to take any oil or gas. You watch the price of natural gas start spiking. Everything. I bet you anything that come next January that everybody on Social Security is going to get a big cost of living increase because inflation's going to go through the roof caused by this war. See? And that ain't no good for Social Security solvency either because that's just more funds coming out faster and nobody else working gets an automatic cost of living increase, so the amount going in stays stagnant. All this shit is connected. That's one of the reasons why I did that couple hours long video this morning. I'll show you what I did. Let's see, a little bit. But it just irritates me whenever I see and talk about it and it don't get much traction. These videos like right now gets a hell of a lot more traction than something like this. I don't know why. But see, this is what I did this morning trying to do something. Do I got my headphones still? No, I don't. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, here. Let me push it up a little bit. Nobody cares if it's all absurd so long as it hurts that other turd. Call out the lies, but who's keeping score? We pick our sides and beg for more. Even if death is what's left in store, we march and fight in the fight for war. Yeah. Yeah, so this morning I worked on that for a few hours because I wake up real early in the morning a lot of times and I can't sleep. So, instead of just sitting here with my finger up my nose, I got to do something. Right? That's one of the hardest things was for me when I got sick with cancer and couldn't work anymore. What am I going to do with my time? I didn't want to just vegetate watching TV forever. I wanted to keep using my brain. I was used to using my brain working on airplanes for years and years, so I had to keep doing something. Well, that's what I started doing. I'm still doing it. So I would love it if you guys would go over there and check out what I do over with my other videos because I do it for you and for me. Here, let me show you something else I did. See, like I was, wait a minute. See, I do.
National corporate co-termination. Now this is
Check it
interesting. In countries like Germany, co-determination laws require worker representation on corporate boards. Research.
See that I do all kinds of junk like that, trying to like help out, right? Because you got people complain. They're good at picking out what the problems are, but the solutions, they're not so easy. And I'm not saying I have all the solutions. I'm just offering solutions that I've found that I've come up with. None of it's anything that I invented. It's stuff that somebody else invented, and I discovered that they invented it, or I discovered that it exists. And I also discovered that a lot of people, especially money bags, big, like Elon Musk and all those cohort, they don't want you to know about co-determination or nonpartisanship. They want everything in chaos just the way it is right now, with all the poor people at each other's throats over every little thing under the sun. And that's just the way it is. So, I don't know, I guess I better quit ranting and raving so much. I appreciate you guys coming by here and checking out my stuff. Um, hey, go over there and look at my stuff that I put on here on Xenoyer Knows Everything or something. I have some live ones on there. See, Xenoyer ain't not gonna play. That's what we're doing right now. Xenoyer ain't not gonna play. I did that one. And there's a warning I did about end times. You know, that one got 79. Okay, this one got four and one hour ago, and it's like over 2 hours long. It got four. That's uncool. And look here, war in Iran, Xenoyer does not approve. I got 145. I'm happy about that. But over here, where the president Booger Nose was live doing the State of the Onion address, 17 views. Now, that's important junk. I didn't like sitting there for 5 hours listening and waiting for that person to show up. So, anyway, that's what I'll leave you with. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up and everything. How about subscribing? We're doing pretty good. Got 70 subscribers now. I'm real happy about that. Hey, look, I got 86 videos now on here and 70 subscribers. So if we could get that like one subscriber per video, that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, we'll see you in the future, everybody. You want to here before we will leave playing a tune. That's probably a good way to go. Saints and Sinners, version 3. This is a new version of a song that I wrote about, I don't know, 6, 8 months ago. Yeah! Give me a big old thumbs up if you like this song. Oh yeah. Get down. Oh yeah. Don't say the wrong word. Don't let your complaint be heard. Be a great leader, make it upset. Get back here, you animal. Where you be, animal? There's that animal. Yeah. Another thing. Evil eyes. right now. Holy crap. Nothing's what it seems. Screech of doom and grace while people vanish without a trace. Tyrants laugh, the mob enraged, blame the others for being slaves. Every choice a path to take, think hard about the one you make. A downward spiral, here we go. We'll hit bottom, so you know. Enjoy your slide into burning hell. As you wonder if still the press reports, then the basement, feeding rage, truth you won't get. Eyes wide open, yet we sleep. Tend to a silent eternity. The press reports, then the basement, feeding rage, truth you won't get. Eyes wide open, yet we sleep. That right, girly fun. That right, little And now you're king. All right, you guys. Thanks for showing up.
Join the game.
Don't worry, it's only a matter of time. This shit ain't gonna last forever. Yeah. Ow, my finger! Ow! Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, say goodbye, Velma. Talk to you later, you guys.